Hello, we're back. My video ran out of space, so I had to delete a lot of stuff. Anyways, back to number 7, transitional epithelium. Remember, it's protection, and it is the inner lining of urinary bladder. And so, what else I want to show you the picture again. Right there, protection, urinary bladder. That kind of stuff. Then I want to talk about the glandular tissue. And that is it does secretion, and it's in the salivary glands, sweat glands, and then it also is in the endocrine glands, which there's some things in there. There's like cilia, which help move it down, move stuff. And then there's the basal cell, and there's the goblet cells. And then now we're going to talk about connective tissue.
All right, so connective tissues, they're the most abundant tissue of the body. They bind structures together, provide support and framework, fills spaces, stores fats, produces blood cells, and fights infections throughout the body. It is made up of ground substance and fibers, and has good blood supply, and the cells can reproduce. Okay, here's some of the tissues and connective blah blah blah. The first one is areolar tissue, and it has collagen fiber, I think that's how you say it, elastic fiber, and fibroblasts. Another one, which is in this corner, is the adipose tissue, and it has fat droplets and adipocyte or something like that.
And does insulin and protection.
Yeah. And then we didn't write down the reticular one, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The reticular connective binds together smooth muscle tissue and then the cells.
Yeah, and in the picture it has reticular fibers and white blood cells. Dense regular connective tissues, it has collagen fibers, and it's right there. Looks like a bunch of lines.
And it's in the dermis of skin, tendons, ligaments, functions as support, and that does cartilage, and yeah.
And then on this one right here, it's the elastic connective, and it has fibroblasts, elastic fibers, and collagen fibers.
External ear and larynx.
And then here's the cartilage right there. It has a nucleus, extracellular matrix, and the lacuna.
And that is like found between the vertebrae and just shock absorbing.
And then down here's the bone. It has the ostium, central canal, and canal luculi or something like that.
Yeah, and that's just structural tissue of the skeleton. So.
And then here's a blood cell. It has platelet, red blood cells, and white blood cells.
And what the blood does is it circulates, delivers O2.
Okay, the types of cells found in connective tissue is the fibroblast, which is the most common type of fixed cell. The macrophages, which originates as white blood cells, and it's also sort of common like the fibroblasts. And then there's the mast cells, the large and widely distributed throughout. Okay, and the type of fibers that are in it is the collagen, which what I was explaining on some of the pictures. It's thick, thread-like fibers of collagen with a lot of strength. The elastic, which makes it stretchable, is bundles of microfibrils or something like that, embedded in elastin. And then reticular, which is thin fibers of collagen, forms delicate support networks within the tissues.
There's also like ground substance, which are non-fibrous protein and other molecules, and that just fills in spaces around cells and fibers. And then with collagenous fibers, there's tendons and ligaments, and then elastic, it's in the ears and vocal cords and respiratory. And that's pretty much in the All right, that's the end.